Before we begin, I need you to do two things. Subscribe to support us and listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. This is not just a story, it's a warning, a tale whispered in the villages of Upper Egypt. Some say it's just folklore, stories to scare little children. Others swear they've heard the knocking too. They run as fast as they can, trying to get away before the third knock echoes in the dead of the night. For those who wait, they vanish without a trace. They say if you listen closely, you can still hear their screams in the darkness. This is the story that has terrified our ancestors since the dawn of time. Their whispers echo through ancient ruins, carried by the desert winds. Today, I'll tell you the tale of an evil spirit called an elf. An elf, a cursed creature lurking in the shadows, preying on the souls of unsuspecting humans. Be cautious when you hear its knocking. Once it enters your home, there's no escape. In the heart of Upper Egypt, where the river Nile flows and the shadows grow long, there lived a poor farmer named Ibrahim. He toiled under the scorching sun, his skin weathered and worn like an old leather saddle. His face bore the lines of hardship, his eyes reflecting the endless struggle to make ends meet. But Ibrahim harbored a secret hope, a dream of escaping his poverty-stricken life. He believed his salvation lay in his son, Hossam. In Ibrahim's eyes, Hossam wasn't just a child. He was the embodiment of his hopes and aspirations. He saw in Hossam a chance to break free from the shackles of poverty and forge a better future. Ibrahim dreamed of Hossam becoming a scholar, his head adorned with the turban of knowledge instead of the traditional white cotton cap worn by ordinary villagers. However, fate had a cruel sense of humor. Hossam didn't share his father's aspirations. Instead of seeking knowledge, Hossam found solace in simpler pleasures. While other children his age devoted themselves to their studies, Hossam preferred playing with his friends. He loved exploring the vast fields surrounding their village, racing with the wind, feeling the sun's warmth on his back and listening to the bird song. But Ibrahim couldn't comprehend his son's carefree spirit. He saw Hassan's actions as a betrayal of his trust, a rejection of the future Ibrahim had envisioned for him. As the years passed, the rift between father and son only grew wider. Ibrahim's disappointment turned into anger, his words sharp and cutting like shards of glass. He began to treat Hossam not as a beloved son, but as a burden, a constant reminder of his shattered dreams. The love that once bound them together disintegrated, replaced by resentment and bitterness. One evening, after a particularly harsh scolding from his father, Hossam decided enough was enough. He couldn't endure another moment of his father's scorn. Filled with sadness and anger, Hossam fled into the darkening fields, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. He ran without a destination in mind, tears streaming down his face. Lost in his misery, he didn't notice the path he was taking. And unknowingly, he ventured deep into the forbidden lands bordering the great desert. As darkness enveloped the horizon, Hossam realized he was utterly alone. The vast desert stretched before him, a menacing presence swallowing the last vestiges of daylight. Fear gripped his heart, and he began to regret his impulsive decision. But it was too late. The desert, with its towering sand dunes and unforgiving silence, had claimed him. Suddenly, amidst the oppressive darkness, Hossam noticed a flickering light in the distance. Hope surged through him, and he staggered toward the light, his body aching and his mind filled with anticipation. As he drew closer, he realized the light emanated from a dilapidated mud hut. Its thatched roof looked like the hump of a camel, and the flickering flames danced eerily in the darkness. Despite his fear, Hossam knocked on the hut's door. Moments later, the door creaked open, revealing a wizened old man with piercing eyes. His face was a roadmap of wrinkles, each line telling tales of the desert's harsh realities. Without hesitation, the old man ushered Hossam inside. The interior of the hut was dimly lit, with rough-hewn furniture and walls adorned with strange symbols and amulets. Hossam sat down, his body trembling from exhaustion and fear. The old man, sensing Hassan's terror, offered him water and dates. As Hossam sipped the water, regaining some of his strength, he noticed shelves laden with books, bound in leather, and strange herbs. There was an unsettling quiet in the hut, broken only by the crackling fire. The old man sat opposite Hossam, his gaze intense and unwavering. Finally, Hossam, his voice hoarse, explained his predicament. He told the old man about his harsh upbringing, his desperate escape from his father's wrath, and how he had stumbled upon the hut seeking refuge. The old man listened patiently, his expression unreadable. When Hossam finished his tale, the old man remained silent for a long moment. Hossam, already on edge, felt a growing sense of dread. Finally, the old man spoke. His voice was raspy, like the desert wind whistling through the canyons. "You seek shelter here, Hossam," he said, "but this place is not for the living. It is a sanctuary for spirits, a place where the veil between the worlds is thinnest." Hassan's eyes widened in alarm. He realized he might have traded one prison for another. The old man continued, his gaze boring into Hassan's. "You are not alone here, Hossam. There are others who seek refuge, who have sought refuge, and those who have been trapped forever." Before Hossam could respond, the old man stood up. Motioning for Hossam to follow him, he led him to the far corner of the hut and pushed aside a tattered rug. Beneath it was a staircase leading down into darkness. "Descend, Hossam," the old man beckoned, "for there is no turning back." Trembling with fear, Hossam descended the stairs. The air grew colder, and a strange, musty odor filled his nostrils. At the bottom, he found himself in a subterranean chamber lit by flickering torches. On the walls were more enigmatic symbols and incantations that seemed to writhe and twist before his eyes. In the center of the chamber stood an altar fashioned from black stone, and upon it rested an object that sent a chill down Hassan's spine. A mirror. It wasn't an ordinary mirror. Its surface was marred by countless scratches, and its frame was adorned with grotesque faces that seemed to mock his terror. The old man, his voice echoing eerily in the chamber, said, "This is the gateway, Hossam. Beyond that mirror lies the realm of the elf. It waits for you." Terror choked Hossam. He wanted to flee, to escape back into the safety of the desert night. But his legs felt rooted to the spot. He couldn't move. Then, as if sensing his paralysis with fear, the old man approached the mirror and placed his hand on its surface. Instantly, the mirror rippled like water disturbed by a stone. A dark, viscous liquid oozed out, coiling around the old man's arm. He turned, his face contorted in a silent scream, his eyes wide with terror. Before Hossam could comprehend what was happening, the old man collapsed, his body dissolving into the encroaching darkness. The mirror pulsed, the darkness within it writhing as if awakening from a slumber. Hossam stumbled back, his mind screaming at him to run, to escape while he still could. But fear had frozen him in place. And then the mirror shattered. The fragments scattered, and a cacophony of screams echoed through the chamber. The darkness surged forward, coalescing into a horrifying form. It resembled a donkey, yet was undeniably sinister. Its eyes burned with infernal fire. Its coat was matted and foul, and its bray was a grating screech that tore at Hassan's soul. Terror finally jolted Hossam into action. He turned and fled, stumbling blindly through the tunnels. He didn't dare look back. The echoes of the elf's laughter spurred him on. Hossam emerged from the staircase into the hut, his heart pounding against his ribs. But the hut was no longer a sanctuary. The walls had caved in, collapsing into a jumbled mess of mud and debris. The desert wind howled through the wreckage, carrying the stench of decay and despair. Hossam collapsed, overcome by the horror of his discovery. When the villagers found him the next morning, he was babbling incoherently, his eyes vacant and staring. They carried him back to his village, but Hassan was never the same. The encounter with the elf had left an indelible mark on his psyche. To this day, the tale of Hassan and the elf serves as a grim reminder in the villages of Upper Egypt. It's a warning to those who dare to stray into the forbidden lands, and a cautionary tale about the perils of seeking solace in the desolate embrace of the desert. Now, if you want to hear the next story, click the link on the screen or in the description below. And remember, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you enjoyed the story. We eagerly await your feedback.